Okay, hello all you crazy people out there. My name is Michael. I like wizards and dragons and making games, and we have a level select. We can go and click on a level in the level select. We can go and go to a level. Today I'm going to be working on an end of game screen, and that's going to take the form of either you win or you lose or something like that. Right now, currently, what does happen if you lose the game? Do you it just shows a pop-up telling you that happened, right? And also the when you enter the game, the camera's lower, and I think during gameplay, the camera should actually be a little bit higher than it is right now. I will deal with that. So let me just lose the game on purpose real quick. We are leaking a bunch of grasshoppers, and we're just okay. Yeah, that's more or less what I thought. So, what line of code is that? Okay, so when player's health is less than or equal to 0, we see this message, and then the game just ends. And instead, I think it's, let's say, let me add, no, I won't add another gameplay mode for game over. Will I? I think I will. Game over, gameplay mode. So if I were to lose the game now, we would go into the game would go into basically a soft lock state where it doesn't accept any input. It doesn't, actually, it might accept, like moving the camera around, but other than that, you can't engage with it. So if I were to lose the game now, if I were to just send in every wave at once, we should be blocked from doing anything because we will be entering a new game mode, which is just game over, and that should make the UI go away. I'm thinking if I did this the way I remember myself doing. Yeah, okay. So the UI went away. Things stopped moving. The things on the screen have stopped moving. The enemies have stopped moving. I actually can't move the camera, so this really is a true soft lock where the game doesn't respond to input in any way, shape, or form. So I can do that. I'm going to add another, basically a state down in the UI, and that's going to be if gameplay mode equals something like this. Okay, so this is basically like another pause screen, honestly. Game over. This may be the this may be a win screen, this may be a lose screen. I'm going to also clone the current pause screen. And the current title screen. And that's going to be the name of a layer that's going to be shown on the UI. When you win the game, it'll be set to UI game over, you win. When you lose the game, it'll be set to the opposite of winning. Let's see, what was that? Player damage happening in here. UI game over. Let's call it lose instead of you lose, because that's a little bit of a shorter name. Which should be easier for me to not screw up. And then when you defeat the last foe, it'll do basically this, but it will send you to the other one. Okay, so first let me insert this into the UI. So if gameplay mode is equal to game over, equal to the game over state, we will draw that UI layer. This will probably crash the game because this will not be found. This will return undefined, and then we'll be trying to call a method on undefined, and that'll crash the game. So let me just see that it does that at all. If it crashes in a different way, for example, if it doesn't work in a different way, then I will debug that. But if it crashes the way I want it to, we can just send in everything at once. If it crashes the way I want it to, then that'll be fine. I should probably put a bit of a constraint on how often you can send in another wave. I should probably not allow the player to send them all in at once. I should probably have them wait like 5 seconds between doing that or something. And indeed, we are having undefined.render cannot be resolved. Okay. It crashed the way I want it to. So we can say game over mode and UI screen. And next, GitHub. We're gonna commit that. We are. Next, we can actually create that. So if we go into room test, let's hide the title screen. Let me create a new folder. I'll put this in its own folder. Outside of this. No, I want this to be, there we go. UI game over screen stuff. This, come on. I need to sort it up there. That's where I really want it. This can have an instance layer, so UI game over win. I'll make another one. UI game over lose. This can be a background object, a raycast blocking object, which is more or less in the middle of the screen. Actually, can I copy the size and the shape of the settings? The settings background, because that's about the size and shape of what I'm looking for right now. Okay, so let's put some buttons down. This is going to be... Actually, on top we'll put text, and that's just going to say you win / you lose. Below that might be... And this is a little bit wide. So let me narrow it a little. Not sure if I like them all that wide. This will be a restart, and then below that will be return to title. Actually, this screen is a lot smaller than the settings screen. Okay, miscalculation on my part. Variables button name can be you lose. Under that, variable name can be button name can be retry. Under that, button name can be back, return to title. Should I make it consistent? I think everything else in the game says back to title or something like that. I'm gonna go with back. All the other buttons in the game say back. Let's call it that. And I'll just leave it hanging for now. The rest of the UI. Restart should be pretty easy because we've already got a reset button in the pause menu, and having the I think it's in the pause menu. We've got a reset button somewhere anyway. And that's essentially, if you lose the game and you want to restart it, that's all we need to invoke. So we will launch in everyone at once. Hopefully the game over screen will appear the way it's supposed to. Did I launch all the waves? I only see, looks like some of the grasshoppers are taking their time. You're gonna be at the ends to the finish? You are. Okay, so we've got this screen popping up. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would want to show on the you lose screen. I don't think so. Yeah, I think that'll be it. So we'll just shrink this down a little bit smaller and center it vertically like that. So we've got ourselves a loss screen, and we can, let's see, let's do initialize first. The restart button first. Where's the existing restart button? I want to say it's in the pause menu, in the gameplay pause menu. These are not named. I should probably name them inst pause resume or something like that. Restart. Okay, so this is just, yeah, that's what I thought. That's game.initialize. We can call that here. So we're just going to reinitialize the game. And that is going to, allow us to restart from the beginning of a level. Oh, I can put that on double speed, and that'll cause the grasshoppers to zip around even faster. And get to the end and cause me to lose. All right, there we go. Retry is going to... Okay, yes. Retry did exactly what it's supposed to. We've reinitialized the game. I did not... Now, I was trying to think if this was something I had to do or not. And now that I think about it a little bit more, I think it is. On the level select, we do not call the initialize method. I think we would have to, because I think if you started a level, went back to the title screen, and resumed a level, I think what would happen is the game would pick up in progress in that level because it was never cleared. We will when I do the back to menu button, I will find out if that is the case or not. So first, you lose. Restart the game. First, we can do that. Next, the opposite of the level select, in a lot of ways, is just going to be load map title and then the title screen, loading the title screen map, and then setting the gameplay mode to the to the title screen. So maps.title.bug gameplay mode is going to equal game modes.title. And this should be able to, if we were diagramming the state of the game in a flowchart, this would basically complete the loop. You could lose the game, you could go back to the title screen, you could do all the title screen things. Also, it may be a good idea to reset the title screen UI screen, current title screen to whatever instead of the level select screen. But you could make the argument that, let's send in everybody. You could make the argument that if you lose the game or if you pause the game and exit the title, you might prefer to go back to the level select. So let's back to title. The camera is persistent. I want to like reinitialize the camera every time you enter a map, I think, because I don't want it to stay wherever you were. And in addition, I do want different types of cameras for different contexts, so the title screen versus gameplay versus the editor, but that'll have to wait. I'm curious, by the way, if I were to profile this, if I would see the memory usage staying where it is, or if I would see if there's a memory leak somewhere. I hope there's no memory leak somewhere. There's not a whole ton of... I wanted to run that in debug mode. There's not a whole ton of data that's created or cleared when you enter a map, and I'm pretty sure I'm accounting for all of it. So if I were to just start the game, go over here, I can see it looks like we are using 16 megabytes of memory. If I were to speed this up a little bit, ooh, we are growing. I feel like we are growing our memory usage faster than just the couple kilobytes that each foe should take up. All right. So when I started the level, it was about 16, and when I've died, it's 20.77. If I were to do this again, and indeed we are restarting basically where we were on wave 8, which is not exactly working. We did restart with 16 megabytes, as far as I was able to tell.
Hey.
We're at 16.5 now. Oh, the last wave has come in. Yeah. Okay. So we definitely need to reinitialize the waves when we start a map. Okay. I was not expecting the memory usage to balloon when the enemies came in. I was expecting the memory usage to balloon when the vertex buffers and stuff were created, and that doesn't seem to be what's happened. I suppose if I were to look at the fuse map data itself, this is only 4 megabytes. The title is only 2. So maybe it would, but not by a lot. There's also about a megabyte's worth of this down there. I'll look at it under a microscope later. You return to the title screen when you lose. And let's see, there's also the matter of not part of the game over screen, but we can do this in the pause menu. Let me close out of that over there. You can do this in the pause menu. There is a back to title button over here. Is there? No, that's quit the game. Is it this one? Oh, there's a dedicated quit button. One of which actually closes the game, and one of which will just take you back to the title. Which one is this? That is quit the title. Game modes dot title. Okay. Again, that'll put you back on the level select. There's a part of me that says you should not go back to the level select. You should go back to the actual title screen. There's a part of me that says you should actually go back to the level select, because if you quit out of the game, you probably want to jump back into another level. Either an easier one if it's too difficult, or a maybe you clicked on the wrong one or something because there isn't a yes/no confirmation prompt. Yeah, we can enter this level. We can quit game, quit the title, and we can go back to the title screen. All right, it's easy enough. Quit to title button works. There's also the matter of winning the game, and to do this, oh no, wait a minute. First, I should actually make the game initialize when you enter a level, shouldn't I? I did not mean to close out of that map. Level select. The game should initialize like this. And that may actually set gameplay mode to gameplay. May it? That does set gameplay mode to gameplay. That sounds worse and worse the more I say it out loud. So we're going to initialize the game instead. This should allow us to, if we lose, to actually start the level over from scratch. Instead of like partway through wherever we were when we game overed. So let's send everybody in at once. We will be dead in a couple seconds, and we will be able to see if that is indeed what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys do 2 damage. Let me return to title, return to gameplay, and we have started over from the beginning. Have we? The wave counter is a little confused. I can gain money infinitely by hitting the space bar, or by hitting the next wave button. Not 100% sure what's going on there. Okay, I'll find that out. Actually, you know what? That's literally changing one line of code. What I'll do instead... The other buttons don't do anything. I guess what I can do instead is I can just copy this over to all the other buttons and load level 2, which doesn't exist yet, so nothing will actually load level 3 and so on. Alright, let me do that. This will be a to be filled in later sort of deal. Alright, this is the last one. All of these will send you to a level. The level may not necessarily exist, but the game will do its best. Okay, there is, as I said, for example, if we were to do this, nothing would, okay, the game would crash if you try to start a wave on a map that doesn't exist because it doesn't have any path data. That's fine, because this will have path data by the time someone actually plays this. Where was I going? I do want to do the you win screen as well, and that's most likely just going to be a clone of the you lose screen, just with different text and, I don't know, maybe a next level button instead of retry, but first I should probably deal with the bug in the game where if you keep mashing the spacebar, that means something's not getting initialized correctly. If you keep mashing the spacebar, you're gonna keep getting money. Go to the other levels also. All right, that's the best that I can think of for that commit message. What do I want to do? It's possible that it's not a problem with something getting initialized, and it's possible that if I were to just search VK space send in wave early, it's possible that you're just getting money. Okay, so it's giving you money before it's actually checking to see if there's a wave to send in, basically. So I'm going to need to throw in another condition on this. If DSQ empty. Is there a reason that there's a separate variable for this versus just checking to see if the wave queue is empty? Okay, wait. Not there, but if we can do it there. Okay, so you'll get money if there are indeed waves left to send in. I think that should be that bug fixed. Hopefully, it's just a single line of code, an extra check to see if a value is having any waves left. So why does it show dash 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 to next wave like immediately? Oh no, it's still doing it. Okay. Oh no, should it be is not DSQ empty? It should totally be if not DSQ empty, shouldn't it? All right, let's try that again. 29 to next wave. Why does it not restart the countdown? That's another bug that'll need to be fixed. All right, well, the next wave button doesn't work. I should probably just gray it out entirely if there are no waves left. But let's see, that is a bug fixed. There is, I think, the UI element on the gameplay UI. So gameplay stuff over here. Up. This is just the overlay, right? Yeah, this is the overlay. The text that we're showing is going to be wave time to next wave. If wave countdown is greater than 0. Okay, so that means wave countdown is getting set to -1 for some reason. Hang on, if the wave countdown is greater than 0, then you get money. Otherwise, why do you get anything? Is that just you get this amount of money for pass and go? No, that's countdown. That should be in seconds. I don't remember this being a problem before, but was I meaning to do this up here? Setting the countdown to a value when you send in a wave, if there's any waves left. I feel like this is probably what the code should have looked like. I don't know why I ended up with it like that in the first place. So if I just were to send in the next wave, you have 30 seconds to set up your stuff at the beginning of the game, and you have 15 seconds after that. Oops, tab button. If I were to send it in again, you would get the money, and then when there's no more waves to send in, it would say dash dash dash. Okay, this looks more correct than it was before. I don't know when I screwed that up. I don't remember that being a problem, but clearly it's at some point between when I started writing it and when, like, now it became a problem. Okay. Fixed. Caps lock is on, fixed. All right, that's a minor bug. We're doing some bug hunting today. Lastly, I do want to do the windscreen. So this is going to be harder, not because it's more complicated to lay out or anything, but because I'm going to have to actually win the game, or I'm going to have to write in some code to like auto win the game in order to test it. Instead of, let me hide that layer. Instead of actually, I said I could just copy and paste this, didn't I? That won't cause any like invalid instance reference issues, will it, if I run the game? Sometimes when you copy and paste layers, GameMaker gets very confused. Nope, looks okay. If I were to set this to you win, this one says you win, doesn't it? Nope, that's you lose. I have not changed this yet. You win. Also, the alignment. I need to set the alignment on all these UI elements, and that includes the level select from the last video. I forgot to do that. I'll do that real quick at the end. Let's see, this can say something like next level. And the back to menu screen can stay the same. The back to menu button can stay the same. This will not do anything yet. Levels don't currently have any knowledge as to what level they are or what the next level is. I will be giving them that data soon enough. First, let me attempt to win the game. And let me attempt to actually win the game and not just like give myself infinite money or anything like that. That would allow me to make this trivial. Let me actually try to win the game. So we can send in something, get some free money. I feel like a recurring problem is that things don't drop enough money when they go down, and or that things cost too much to upgrade. I think increasing the amount of money that you get from defeating stuff would would be a better solution than decreasing the costs. I don't like huge numbers in video games. I don't enjoy it when like an RPG has like thousands and thousands of hit points and attack points and whatever, because that just feels meaningless at that point. But numbers on the scale of like between can I poison you all? Numbers on the scale between like 20 and 100 are certainly manageable. Let's see. This should provide some nice defenses now that I can afford the bug spray. Still feel like bug spray is a bit overpowered, or at least it was. Oh, I did make the change so that the clouds only last a certain number of hits, so that they can only deliver a certain number of hits. Okay. And you're all making it to the end. The gnats are basically a grace period. I want to make gnats immune to status just because I have so little HP, and if you set up a poison cloud or something, they will basically go down instantly. I want to make them immune to the magnifying glasses. I don't know if anyone saw on the Uno, you're getting through. I'm gonna die. On the to-do list board, I wrote down gnats should be immune to magnifying glasses because that basically makes them trivial. Let me try this again, if you don't mind. Okay, looks like I'll win. A couple grasshoppers got through, but everything else is gonna be finished in a moment. All right. Nothing happened because I didn't actually tell the game that when you defeat an enemy, you should check to see if you win or not. Okay, I need to do that though. Let's see. This is the you win screen. All that work defeating my own game. And I forgot to actually do what I wanted to test. I forgot to actually write the code that I wanted to test. What happens when... Boy, what's the chain of events that happens when you hit an enemy? Game entity stuff, entity foe. There is all this. I've pretty much decided that most of this isn't going to be used, defense-wise and whatever. But speed is still used. That's what happens when you get hit by the slowing tower. There's a matter of... I guess, I'll add another method to game that can be something like check game over. Send in wave early, player damage. No parameters. It will just be called when a foe dies. Alright. Let's do that after we destroy ourselves. That sounds terrible. When you check game over, there's going to be a couple things that will be done. One is checking to see if... One is going to check to see if the active waves are empty, and one is going to check... Let's see, if DS list empty wave active. If not DS list empty wave active, we're just going to return. We're going to kick out of this function early, this method. Also, likewise, if DSQ empty all waves, we're going to kick out of this method early. Lastly, if there are any foes currently on the screen, so all foes is the DS list. If not DS list empty, where was I? If not DS list empty, all foes return. Otherwise, if I were to just prefix this with the self keyword, otherwise we can tell that the game is over. It's gonna look like this, but instead of going to the lose screen, we're gonna go to the win screen. Okay, that should work. There should not be any possibilities to have enemies lurking around other than in the wave queue. So for the waves that are like currently in waiting, the active waves list, or the list of foes that are currently on the screen. If nothing's in any of those, then you know that there's nothing left in the game to come in and eat your face. All right, so let me try and defeat this game again. Alright, barely hung on there. I suspect there's another bug when it comes to this is off center. It seems like there's another bug in the game when it comes to the last wave. I feel like the last wave is always getting sent in earlier than it should be. I will have to investigate that. I don't know if it's just like the grasshoppers are the last wave, then they move faster than everything else, so it looks like they're jumping the line when when they're really not, and that's just an illusion. I'm gonna have to investigate that for myself, see if there's actually anything wrong there. Even if there isn't, it might be worth like making it more clear what's coming in, maybe putting a little preview of the next wave on the screen so that you can see exactly what it is and there are no surprises. Anyway, the U win screen has worked. Next level doesn't do anything yet because I haven't made it do anything yet. And back to title. Okay. And yeah, there's nothing in there. So we can say show the win screen if you win. And I did want to lastly let's see. I'm just gonna keep track of the next level. So oh, you know what I also noticed is that when you lose and you go back, certain things in the world do not seem to be getting cleared, and by that I mostly mean like flypaper that had been dispensed but not used. Seemed like they were still there when I lost the game and had to reinitialize. We are... Do you really have to destroy the foes? If they're just gonna get removed from the game anyway? I'm pretty sure you do the towers, because that would be collision information. At least something else I have to check on my own. Okay, so in the initialize function, we are manually destroying all foes, we're manually destroying all towers and everything like that. I feel like that shouldn't be necessary. Instead of removing collision ourselves, we should really just be able to erase the collision grid. Whatever they live in, but that will be a story for another day. We're also only DS-less clearing all towers and all foes. There should also be, just in general, all of the other things should be cleared as well. Entities, foes, towers, and environment entities. Not environment entities, but all... What? Hang on, when you dispense flypaper, where does it go? If you clear all entities, that will, Oh, this might suddenly be more complicated than I wanted it to be. Alright, you know what? To-do list. Future self can deal with that in the bug hunting episode, which I'm sure is looming on the horizon. Let me see. So the next level, I can say, let me just define it here. To an empty string. In the UI, when you select a level, over here, we're going to define a next level for every time you click on one of these buttons. And that is just going to be the name of the next map file that we were to load. And the last one, level 12, which does not have a next level, because it's the last one, will just, that'll just be an empty string. We won't load any map there, and it'll just be grayed out or something like that. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a chore. I'm just going to be, once again, copying and pasting things in. I will cut away to as soon as this is finished, because I don't think anybody really wants to watch it. Okay, I got through all of that, and then I immediately realized a problem that should hopefully have been obvious to other people besides me. And that is that this is only going to work once. So if you click on level 1, next level is going to be equal to map/level2.bug. If you defeat level 1, you will indeed go to that map, but you will also not reset this value. So next level is still going to be map/level2.bug. And if you defeat level 2 and try to go to the next level, you're basically just going to restart your own level. And that's not what we want. And I think I'm going to actually index this a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit longer, and instead of saying next level, I'm gonna say this level index is gonna equal 0. And I'll index it from 1 just because to make it consistent with what you see on the screen. So the screen will say level 1, 2, 3, and then internally the game will also just say 1, 2, 3, and we won't be indexing from 0. So I will say this level index is going to equal, actually I'll call it current level index, because I like the word current better, and it's a little bit more descriptive, and it's also the word that the other variable names use. Now, inside, for example, initialize, go to level, it's going to equal a function. It'll take a level index as a parameter. This will do a few things. This will set self.current level index is going to equal level index. We will self.load map maps / level plus string of the level index plus stop bug. So this is sort of taking care of the issue that I mentioned in the last video when it comes to it would be nice if I wasn't just copying and pasting file names, because if I want to change the file name or the file extension, I would also have to change it everywhere, which is a bit of a problem. So we're going to self.load map and self.initialize. So go-to-level is going to do everything that these buttons were doing manually. So instead of game.loadMap, game.nextLevel, game.initialize, it's going to be instead game.go-to-level1. And the other ones are going to say go to level 2 and go to level 3 and so on and so forth. So let me just correct this. I'm really glad I have the ability to cut away now, because you do not want to see this twice in a row. Okay, much better. Hopefully this is the last time I'll have to make changes to every single one of these buttons at once. Okay. So we have go to level. This is worthy of a commit. Go to level instead of doing it manually. We can also say go to next level, which is going to be a method that takes no parameters, but instead it's going to self.current level index plus self.initialize and self.load map of self.current level index. This is this will allow you to go to the last level if you defeat level 12, which is not really what we want. I could put in a hard constraint that says like if current level index is greater than or equal to 12, then don't do this. That's honestly probably good enough. So if this was a game that I wanted to be very, very extendable, I might not do this, but instead macros max level is going to be defined to 12, so we're going to have a macro for the max level. If self.current level index is greater than or equal to max level, not that one, we'll do this, otherwise we won't do anything. So this should allow us to just call go to next level from the UI over here, this one, and this is off center, isn't it? Hang on, let me hide this. This is, yeah, this is one tile down and to the right off of where it should be. Come on, can I not click and drag you? Select. Are you locked? Why am I not able to? This one's locked. This one shouldn't be locked. Can I move you guys manually? GameMaker just thought it was locked for some reason. Alright. Anyway, next level is this one. OnClick equals function game.go to next level. And that should be all we need. So I can commit this change, implement the game.go to next level. And max level is a macro and cannot be used as an instance variable. Oh, okay. Because that's already being used as a as an enum member. And we're having the compile time constants like fighting it out over here. Okay. Probably should not commit changes before testing at max max level index instead. That's not being used as a name anywhere else. That's gonna work, right? And if I were to defeat level 1 again, it should put me in level 2, and it probably will not work too well because let's see, I had luck with the magnifying glass. It probably won't work too well because there's no level to load, but it should put me on an empty screen at least. God, this is utter chaos. Alright, so I actually made it through that, it looks like, without taking any damage at all. That one door guard tower did its job. And we win. Next level is going to not do anything. Why is that not doing anything? Am I gonna have to go through this whole thing again? Game over, win. Creation code. Game.go to next level. Oh, it should be less than. Ha. Very funny. Okay, third time's the charm. Okay, died there. As you can see, there are still pieces of flypaper stuck on the ground, which is not really what I'm going for. So that is indeed a bug that needs to be fixed later. Okay, I need to win though. The goal here is to win. Okay, so if you can get through that with the power of 3 magnifying glasses and nothing else, I think it's safe to assume that those 3 towers are a little bit over-centralizing the meta a little bit. But next level. Okay, so we are indeed on another level. The game is gonna not really work because there isn't a path. And in any case, go to next level works, and that's what I'm here for. So I am going to make this commit again, just for real this time. I'm going to end this off here because that was the end goal of today, is the game over screens of various types, as well as more level management. Next time might be a little different. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do next time. It's probably going to be level design. I may live stream it. I'm thinking I'm leaning in that direction. So it's I usually post these videos on Wednesdays, but if I do that, I might do the live stream on like a Friday or something so that more people can be there when it happens. Before that, I may spend an episode making the editor nicer, just so that there's, like, more to look at, and it's easier to use, and it doesn't crash, and it's easier to figure out what you're doing. That sort of thing. I'll post an announcement of some sort before any potential live stream happens. Anyway, if you want the code for this, look in the video description. This is going to be 0.47. We've been doing this about a year now. A little more than a year. I've only missed a few weeks, which is pretty good, all things considered. Look for a link in the video description. I have a Patreon, so if you want to contribute towards these videos being made, there will be links to that in all the usual places as well. Otherwise, I try to post about 2 game dev videos a week, 1 of these and 1 tutorial. So if you're interested in any of that, or just a whole bunch of Let's Plays, feel free to subscribe and stick around. Otherwise, I hope you found that interesting, and I will see you all later. Special thanks to Connor, David Key, Edward Holt, Emily Koyo, Halo Factory, Posho, Syndra Larson, Tusk, and Zenith for supporting these videos. If you want to see your name in the credits or to hear yourself shouted out at the end, head on over to the Patreon page down in the video description to join the fun.